your child refuses to study them in middle school, you can't attend middle school. Yes. Fact check. I'm trying to tell you. This is where we are going. So Atlanta, they coming after Atlanta because black folks is coming together again. Economically, we're coming together. Agriculturally, we're coming together. Emotionally, spiritually, we're coming together. And they do not like it. They not meaning all white folk. They meaning the elite, the international bankers, the 1%, whatever you want to call it. We call it the 10%, whatever you want to call it. Right? The so-called Ashkenazi Khazarian Jews, whatever you wish to call it, there is a war and agenda on the black family because they cannot have us surviving because our survival equals their destruction. But they believe that once we rise back into just being a successful family, successful people, that we're going to do to them what they did to us. So this ain't got nothing to do with no white hate, and this hate. No, black love does not equal white hate. Saying Black Lives Matter does not equal white lives do not. Some people get sensitive about that. Okay? So my last point here, family, to combat all of this, and I gave you solutions along the way. You notice that? Yes. Okay? For the vaccinations, for the psychiatric drugs, to all these different things. So when you're doing research, because as you go into business, as you go into shifting your mind how you think, as you go into starting anything, as you go into being a parent, being a child, a student, whatever you do, your research, re means back or again, search means to locate or to find. You must look at again, find over and over again. You must continue to search for things and become extreme with your intellect. The word intelligence means the ability to pose, predict, and solve problems in the future. Let me say that again. Intelligence is the ability to pose, meaning to look at, predict, meaning to look ahead, and solve problems in the future. How can you tell when a person is intelligent? Because they have come up with as many solutions to as many problems to solve them in the future. That is how you can determine a person's intelligence. Not by how much we talk, how much we know. No, what has he or she come up with of a resulting nature? How many results do y'all got? That's how you can tell when a person is intelligent. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad was and is intelligent. Is that right? Yes. The Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad was and is intelligent. The Honorable Minister Farrakhan is intelligent. Mother Tyler Muhammad was and is, I'm saying, is for a reason. Intelligent. Dr. Ava Muhammad is intelligent. Is that all right?
Yes, sir.
And on that note, my brother here, yes, sir. This is our brother Kels. Give him a hand here. I have come out. This is my prototype here for my line. I just say, you know what? I'll just put something together real quick. Put something together real quick. Because the enemy has an attack on our mind. Is that right?
Right.
We have independent schools for a reason. Yes?
Yes, sir.
When it comes to social media, we have to know how to sift through it. Brothers, sisters, not everything you see on the internet is real. And not everything you see on the internet is accurate. So don't just share stuff and be like, oh, this happened. No. Really back up, because they are now overloading us with information. That is why the CIA contracts with Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. That is why the FBI contracts with this. And best believe many of us got files with our names in, of course. So they make sure to put all of this stuff in there. So one thing we have to become extreme with is our intellect. Last point I want to leave on here, and I'm going to step down from here. The FBI last year, in 2017, said that black people who are passionate about being black, love black, want to marry black, just love it, are extremists. They are black identity extremists. Your identity makes you sick. Oh, you want to be black? What's wrong with you? You're human. All lives matter. You get it? Yes. So I said, no, it's not the identity that is extreme that they're afraid of. It's not the black identity extremists. It is the black intellectual extremists that they are afraid of. Does that make sense? Yes. Because every single one of our pioneers or our freedom fighters that they were afraid of and that they took out were intellectuals. They had a mind that made that devil's mind so scared. We need to take her out, shut him up, shut them all down, because they were making us nervous. So I came out with this line called the Black Intellectual Extremists. Intellectual extremists. Now this is a prototype. But y'all clap for that. Intellectual extremists. So we have to be extreme in our intellect, be extreme with our mentality. We have to go into economics and business. We have to make sure we shift and drop all the keys and the facts. We have to come together, do something for ourselves so that we no longer have to rely on this enemy, because the greatest and only solution is separation. Is that right?
Yes.
Separation. And it does not mean we're going to go to some magical land on an island somewhere. Okay, it's just like being little China, little Cambodia, little Armenia. All the Jewish districts, they are separate, but they have all their own everything, right? And they can go in and out of their own cities, right? So we want to have the same exact thing, and we believe that that is the greatest and only solution. That, of course, and our unity, which is more powerful than a hydrogen or an atomic bomb. Thank you very much, family.
How long have you been doing this?
Been speaking right now?
Yes, sir. Just everything you do.
Oh, just period life.
Yes, sir.
16 years.
16 years. Now, you told me something the other day. You said, I've been doing this for 16 years for free. And you know, one interesting thing is when a brother brings up a product, starts speaking about his business, everybody gets a little cringy in the room. Because, you know, I would like to say that my brother's agenda is righteous. Everybody agree?
Yes.
And when you fund a righteous agenda, you fund a righteous future. So you should actually want to hear things of that nature. And that's one of the things that I want to shift, is that, you know, it's the righteous become rich, because those who we consider unrighteous have the resources to fund their minds, which means the ideas that they have would actually be manifested. So I want people to understand, when you hear things about a brother trying to get resources to continue his mission and continue his journey, that should be something that we applaud, and that should be something that we assist and execute upon. So please, what I'm saying is, purchase my brother's shirt, because for the whole thing, I'm just a lot of So we got our good brother David Banner.
Oh, yes, sir.
Tapped in with us. I know my brother speaks, so I'm not sure if you need the microphone.
Yeah, real quick.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. First of all, I'd like to thank you all for having me. That's my pleasure.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Before I say what I have to say, I first of all want to thank the nation, because my life was threatened 2 times, and both times, especially in D.C., the brothers from the nation came and surrounded me and showed me the type of love that we all should show each other, and I'm grateful and I appreciate it. This is the main thing that I want to say. First of all, I want to tell you all how proud I am of you all, because you all have found a way to make being conscious look good, and to make it marketable to these children. I went on the Breakfast Club and I asked Charlamagne, I was like, bro, why do these kids love me so much? Like, I got these children who are too young to know my music. Why are they following me the way that they follow me? And Charlamagne said something that I never thought about. He said a lot of these children don't have fathers. So just like they make up everything else with the internet, they go and find people who they wish were their fathers.
Right.
And he said, you are one of those people to these children. He's like, bro, you are actually raising people without actually physically being there. And I never really thought about that. And one of the reasons why I wanted to make sure that I came, I just got out of the studio, one of the reasons why I wanted to make sure that I came to show y'all, tell y'all that I am proud of you and that I support you, because whether we know it or not, we are on a team.
Yes, sir.
And earlier he asked, how did you feel about Donald Trump? And I tell people this in this shop, black folks all the time, I say I'm grateful. And they say, why? I said, because at first all my friends thought I was crazy. As soon as Donald Trump became president, he did it better. Can I come out there without him? But I'm actually grateful for these times, because you know how our people are. Right. You know, everybody say, but I hope he get impeached. I'm like, nah, because they just gonna give them a Bill Clinton, who most of the laws that were passed against our people, over 600,000 people, black men, are in jail because of Bill Clinton and the laws that he signed. But because he played saxophone and he knew how to spar, y'all want to say that was just the first black president. No, it was not. Then, and I'm not taking shots, excuse me, I'll humbly say this, and then the president that looks like us, when I write down on a sheet of paper what has been done for our people, I always tell people, when it comes to politics, I need something you can write on a sheet of paper. If you want hope, go to church.
Right.
Come hear one of my speeches. But when it comes to politics, we need to know what we want, and it needs to be something that we can feel and we can touch.
That's right.
That's the reason why a lot of these children don't go to spiritual places anymore, because they want food.
Right.
They want nourishment.
Right.
We were building outside about some things that you can really do, and I gave everybody this idea before I do it. I said, let's come together, right? Say that we want to build something. I don't know, you. What do you like? What you want to see in the community? Anything. Hurry.
Oh, me, I'm sorry.
Anybody? School. No. It costs too much. Let's just say a park, right?
Yeah.
It's about $12,000, $14,000. I was going to build one time. 2,000 for me, 2,000 for Tip, 2,000 for Killer Mike. We sell a couple of t-shirts. We already got the money. We do a fundraiser, allow the people to be a part of it. Whether they donate the money, because you know the mindset that our people are in, it won't matter. It'll just add on to it. And we build it for them. Our people, we still haven't got that wind that we need so we can touch it. They tell our kids to dream, but they don't have a bed to sleep in. You can't dream if you don't have a bed. Buy a bed. Have the bed already there prepared for them. So I know a lot of times, and there's one thing that you talked about so eloquently, brother, is just so many of us that are in pockets. And we use our religion and what we believe in to stand apart. When I always say, when them cops pull you over, they don't ask you if you Muslim.
Right.
They don't ask you if you Christian, or you atheist, you folks, you vice lords, you black. And that's all that matters. So if anything, that should be the constant that we can be a part of, is the fact that innocent black men, women, and children are dying. Innocent is the operative word. That should break down any wall, any disagreement that we have. Because I'll say this and then I'll put the mic down.